It happened on what seemed like an ordinary day on a quiet residential street.
Well, I better get going. Okay, see ya.
I want to suck your blood.
At first, I was totally like, cut it out, creep. That's when the guy jumped out and grabbed me. I thought, oh crap, he must be a molester. There have been all these unexplained deaths lately. Maybe it was him. Then all of a sudden, I was bitten by something. I didn't even have time to defend myself. I guess I must have passed out after that. All I know is that when I woke up, everything around me had been completely torn up.
Would you mind showing us the bite marks, miss?
Luckily for Miss A, these were the only injuries she received. Unfortunately, these types of assaults have been on the rise lately. In fact, the city has seen 7 murders in the last 3 months. The victims, all young women, were left with puncture marks on their necks that look very similar to those of Miss A. This startling information has fueled a rumor about the attacker that has forced the people of Japan to ask themselves, could these brutal attacks have been the work of a vampire? Would a vampire be able to go undetected in modern-day Japan? Is it possible that the attacks in Suganami are the work of a creature that until now has thrived only in novels and movies? We'll find out when the facts are weighed by the scales of the goddess.
Our question tonight, do vampires really exist? Let's put it in the balance. And the judgment is false. Vampires do not exist. Welcome, everyone, to the Scales of Astrea. You know the drill. Here we weigh the facts and find the truth. We break down mysteries and legends live from our studio.
After the suspicious attacks in Suganami, we decided that tonight's debate should be whether or not vampires really exist. I can't wait to see the final judgment.
Well, our first judgment was false, but as you know, that could change over the course of the show. Okay, how about we check in with our panel of judges? We've got an eclectic bunch tonight.
That's true. Our first guest is a world-renowned historian, Professor Isao Ebikawa.
Tell us what you think.
Vampires do not exist, but if you can prove me wrong, then I would certainly love to meet one of them.
Our next guest is a famous comedian. Her film Go Home 40-something is in theaters now. Miss Hiroi Uba.
Hey, everybody! I'm thrilled to be here!
So you don't think they exist either?
I hope not! They're so scary! I mean, I can handle ghosts and goblins, but the vampires really scare the crap out of me. I'm anemic. I need all the blood I've got.
Our next judge is a real beauty, and many of you may recognize her as Miss July. Please welcome Yumi.
This is awesome! I totally love vampire movies and manga and stuff.
So is that why you voted true?
Mm-hmm. Dracula and the other vamps, they're all just so freaking sexy.
Well, I've got a treat for you vampire manga lovers. Sitting next to you is this...
I know! I love Bloody Waltz. And I'm so excited to meet the man who's behind it.
He's a famous manga artist who's best known for his Bloody Waltz manga series. Let's hear it for Nozomu Tamaki.
In my opinion, they don't exist. Vampires are fiction. That's why I write manga about them.
Aww.
Well, we do have another judge who voted with you, Yumi. You got it. He believes vampires really do exist.
I'll give you an eternal kiss, my love.
The ladies are excited about our next guest. In the new Bloody Waltz film, he plays Ryo Hibuse, the sexy vampire prince. Give a warm welcome to Seiichi Hirai!
I'm afraid I have to disagree with Mr. Tamaki. Playing a vampire has led me to believe it's possible that they could exist. A vampire is the embodiment of darkness.
Oh, wow, he's so hot.
Come and get it, baby!
So far, the scales of Estrella have weighted 3-2. What'll be the final verdict?
We've got compelling evidence for both sides and exciting guests who'll weigh in.
Oh, now I'm intrigued.
You should be. Today's show is going to be great.
Well, I can't wait to see how it turns out. Be sure to stay with us. I'm your host for the evening, Yokinobu Tokata.
And I'm Mr. Tokata's co-host. My name is Akane Sasanuma.
All right, then. For the final judgment, we'll have everyone weigh in. Our panel of judges, our studio audience, the viewers at home, and even the people on the street. Nella's at Shibuya Station. You there, Nella?
Yes, sir.
Everyone watching us in Shibuya is going to have a chance to cast their vote as well. Those votes will then be tallied and will become part of our final verdict. What will the goddess say? Do vampires exist or are they fiction? Let's put it in the balance!
This program is brought to you by Lorenzo Chemical Industries, striving for a better tomorrow, and Wolfpack Total Security. Also, the new Bloody Waltz movie in theaters now.
I guess it's time to get the ball rolling. Let's bring out our first proposer of the evening.
My name is Nero Tanaka. Thank you for having me. I was just wondering, would you all mind telling me what you know about vampires?
Oh, me! They suck blood.
Yes, that's true. Anyone else?
Me, I've got one. They are weak against crosses and garlic.
It's fascinating that vampires have such an extensive list of weaknesses. There are just so many. They can't come in contact with water or sunlight, they can't cast a shadow, and they don't have reflections. It's amazing we find them frightening at all.
But that vulnerability is why women love them.
Now tell me, Mr. Tamaki, how do you handle these flaws?
I don't want my characters to seem weak, so I throw most of them out. I have kept the sunlight turning them into ash pit, though.
I don't know if you're aware, but documented vampire-related assaults are happening at an increasing rate throughout the world. These attacks have been happening everywhere lately.
Oh, no, don't tell me that. I'm gonna have to start buying stock in iron pills now.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to scare anyone, but while incidents like the Tsuganami cases are rare, they seem to be happening more frequently now. We have been seeing more and more witnesses come forward.
It's probably because of the bad economy.
You think?
He's right. There's a theory that vampires are popular in bad economic times, while Frankenstein is popular in good times.
Huh, but I thought Japan's economy wasn't hit as hard.
Yeah, we're okay. But even so, last year's dollar crisis sent the global economy into a tailspin, and we have yet to work our way out of it. When people feel downtrodden, they start to look outside the box for anything that'll make their lives more exciting.
Change your mind, Yumi?
Well, Professor Abikawa is like way smart.
For example, this bizarre Tsuganami attacks have caused all this hype in the media.
What does that have to do with the economy?
A failing economy tends to leave people wanting more, whether it's in their careers, their home lives, or what have you. Vampires offer people this mysterious, exciting, and enticing world. It's the break from reality they so desperately need.
I see.
It's so enticing that some find themselves at the point of obsession. The attacks were likely caused by someone who's acting out something they've read in their favorite manga or that they saw in an anime. They're escaping into a world of fiction rather than living in our world of harsh reality. They've lost their minds completely. Of course, that's just my opinion.
I really don't think it's fair for you to blame the attacks on manga and anime, Professor.
I'm not blaming anime and manga any more than I would blame any other form of popular culture involving vampires. Let's be realistic. Even if they did exist, they simply have too many weaknesses to survive in our world.
Well, it looks like our debate is starting to get heated. Why don't we hear what the members of our audience have to say on the subject? Who've you got there, Akane?
Are you awake, little girl? It's pretty late for you to be up. You must be sleepy, huh?
I'm just bored because I don't know much about pop culture here.
And why is that? Are you from another country?
I'm from Romania.
You're from the land of vampires. So tell me, how do you feel about them? Do you think they exist? Would you tell us why?
I'm sorry, but can I ask you about something first? Have you ever met a vampire before?
I've never met one, but I'd assume they're very much like what you read about in books.
But I don't understand. I thought those were just made-up stories. You really think those ladies were attacked by vampires?
I'm not sure.
And how can you say without a doubt that they don't exist? Obviously, you still have a suspicion that the attacker could have been a vampire. Am I right?
Well...
She has a point, and being that she's from Romania, she's probably more knowledgeable on the subject. But this debate isn't over yet. We've got compelling evidence that could change your vote.
As mentioned, The young lady we're calling Miss A was the latest victim of the Suganami attacks. She claims that when she regained consciousness after the attack, everything had been destroyed. We scoured the area for witnesses, but to no avail, until we received a mysterious call.
You know something about the attacks?
Yes, it was one of our agents who stepped in and saved the girl's life. Unfortunately, we were unable to apprehend the suspect. However, I promise when we do, we'll take care of the matter.
But I don't understand. Why'd you get involved?
We were ordered to do so by the princess. She's been deeply troubled by this rogue vampire's antics for some time now, so she gave out an order for his capture.
The princess?
Yes, the ruler of the vampire race, part of the true blood lineage that has existed for centuries.
And then we were contacted by a woman claiming to serve the ruler of all vampires. Sensing our skepticism, she asked us to meet with her at a secret location.
Hello and welcome to the princess's mansion.
Now let's bring out our very special guest. Welcome, Miss Veratos.
This is impossible.
I don't believe it.
That's a great set of titties.
She's definitely got me beat.
Professor Ebikawa, it looks like you have something you'd like to say.
Not really. I simply find this very hard to believe. Servant of the ruler of the vampires? I mean, it's laughable.
You may be a great actress, but it'll take more than that to sway me.
I'm sure I'll be able to convince you all.
I don't know, because I'm not buying it.
I understand that seeing is believing, so I've brought along some evidence. I have no doubt it will sway your judgment in my favor.
Yes, wait until you see it. The lovely Miss Veratos is about to blow your mind. This significant piece of evidence was recovered at the scene of Miss A's attack in Suganami. It's the vampire's arm! Miss Veratos, you said this was actual evidence from the scene of the crime?
That's correct. The severed arm of the vampire, who was foolish enough to attack Mrs. A in broad daylight.
Why does it look frozen? That's because it's been encased in a special polymer that will prevent it from decaying or breaking down in direct sunlight.
Made by our sponsor, Lorenzo Pharmaceuticals.
Yes, sir. I was told that the cellular tissue inside is still alive.
That's so gross!
This is bullshit. Have you done any biochemical testing? What does the DNA say? If you expect me to believe that this is actually the arm of a vampire, then I need to see some sort of scientific proof.
Let me ask you something, Professor Ebikawa. You seem utterly determined to disprove the existence of vampires. Are you frightened by us?
Absolutely not.
Good, I'm glad. There's no reason to fear us. We're not going to harm you. We're discerning predators. We don't attack unless agitated.
Let's say that is the severed arm of a vampire. What the hell are you doing showing it off in public? If it was real, surely you'd want to keep it hidden.
That's not necessarily true.
Did you have some input, little girl?
Miss Verato said one of her mistress's agents failed to apprehend and kill the monster, right? And we know the arm is still alive.
What's your point?
It's kind of like that old Japanese folktale. You know, the one where the ogre loses his arm and then he comes back for it later?
The ogre of Rashomon? But I don't get the connection.
Maybe the ruler of the vampires thought that if the arm was presented on television, its owner would come out of hiding to repossess it. Get it?
Well, things are certainly getting intense here in the studio. Let's hear what our viewers in Shibuya Station have to say. Take it away, Nella.
Right. Excuse me, may I ask you a question? No, it can't be.
I'm sorry. Did you want something?
You okay, Nella?
Yeah, I'm good. So, do you think it's possible that vampires exist?
What? That's a stupid question. No, they don't exist.
Sorry to burst your bubble, little girl, but there aren't many believers out there. So is that it? I assume we've reached our verdict, am I right?
Not just yet. I won't give up that easily, Professor. I can prove the arm is real by subjecting it to direct sunlight. As soon as the light hits it, it'll
This is ridiculous. There's no direct sunlight in the studio. You can just drop your little act, okay? It's obvious that you ladies are actors hired on by the show.
How sad. I thought you'd be convinced. I swear I've been completely honest with you this entire time.
Is that so? And you really expect us to believe that you work for the ruler of vampires? You're a good actress and all, but I can see through that lie. I'm sorry, but I don't believe a word of it. So I'm changing my vote right now.
Looks like you've lost the argument, ladies. Vampires are nothing more than fiction. They simply do not exist. They're no different than Santa Claus or the Tooth Fairy.
I don't blame you for not believing me. We've remained secretive. For centuries, we've hidden in the background of mankind's history. Over the years, we've purposely leaked false information about our race, hoping to further fictionalize our existence. Meanwhile, we've been working behind the scenes, manipulating your wars, your economies, and even your religions.
If that's true, then why would you reveal yourselves here? I'd think you'd want a better outlet than a crappy TV show.
Oh, it wasn't our plan to reveal ourselves to you at this time. That is, until this renegade vampire went on a rampage. We knew we had to stop him at any cost, even if it meant revealing ourselves to you. The royal family forbids that vampires kill recklessly or feed upon the innocent. Only a lowlife would disobey that order and be so shamefully indiscreet about it.
So you have your own society, including a ruling family.
That's correct. Those of royal blood are our leaders, and the 3 clans and their bloodlines follow closely behind. Blood relation grows thinner as you go farther down the bloodline. As a result, lower-ranking vampires are required to obey the higher-ranked. That is the law of the vampire. It's what holds our society together. We are attempting to lure out the lowest of the low, one I hesitate to call a true vampire. He's a low-ranking traitor who obviously has no pride in his race. Despicable, don't you think, Mr. Movie Vampire?
Well,
Surely you have an opinion. The owner of this arm must be a lowlife, to kill against order.
Shut up, you bitch. I've heard enough from you.
May I ask you a question, Mr. Manga Artist? On which hand does the character of Ryo Hibuse wear a glove in your manga?
On his left hand, of course.
Fine. It's me. I am the noble king of the night. I refuse to obey. I make my own rules. I was hoping we'd be reunited. I've missed you.
You're a vampire? What?
Let me give you an eternal kiss, my love. She's so delicious!
No, you've got to be kidding. Vampires really do exist?
How dare you call me a lowlife? Die!
Nelly, Nero! What do you think you're doing? Stop this broadcast immediately!
Don't worry about them, Baron.
Princess!
The situation has escalated beyond what we expected. We'll simply accelerate our plans.
Are you sure?
Where's the portable camera? On the roof, sir! Get us connected! We're coming to you live from the roof of the TVC building. This is unbelievable. Vampires really do exist. They're right here in front of us.
The agent I sent failed to fulfill his duty. You were to be killed for your disobedience. This time, I will do it.
Not just yet, Wolf.
Princess.
I will handle the traitor. Is that understood?
Yes, ma'am.
You can tell me what's happened to Akira afterwards.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I knew the prospect of appearing on a television show would lure you out of hiding. However, I didn't expect you to be quite so bold. It seems this world is full of surprises. Wouldn't you agree with me? You scum. I
find your true form hideous. I'm not surprised. Our true forms are but a reflection of our hearts. So this is the embodiment of what a black heart and an arrogant ego looks like. How unfortunate.
Shut up! What in the hell? How were you able to stop me?
My name is Mina Tepesh, blood descendant of Vlad Tepesh, known as Vlad the Impaler. I am the ruler of the vampire race. You have brought shame to our people. For that you must die.
I beg you, spare me, please.
I have a message for all of you humans. Remember what you've seen today. This is the power of the vampire race.
Excuse me, miss. Are you really the ruler of the vampires?
You dare to doubt me? Oh dear, must I suck your blood? Our bloodlines are tied to the darkness. For centuries we have hidden in the dark of night and the shadows of human history. That is, until today anyway.
Why reveal yourself now?
That Bund over there, Tokyo Landfill number 0. That place will become something special. On that land I will establish the kingdom of the vampire race. It will be known hence as the Vampire Bund. Now then, come dance with me.
Dance with the Vampire Maids. Part 1!
There he is! The target's been located! Nero, you take the right!
Okay!
And Nella, you attack from the left! Got it!
I saw you on that Scales of Estrella show! Why are you attacking me?
Sorry, but we can't allow you to be here!
What? But why not?
Gotcha!
You can do it, Nellie. One good hit to the noggin and we'll make you lose your memory!
Yeah, knock me unconscious!